YouTube. I just wanted to record a video. I was up early this morning trying to get some toys for Christmas. Didn't go very well as there was lines around Toys R Us. Anyway, figured I might as well shoot a video because I was actually just in here freestyling some raps about the world. And anyway, I want to talk about depression and the modern world, and I may have talked about this in other videos, but I think it's important to realize what the root cause is of not just my or our sort of personal struggles, but struggles as a species. And this is, you're not alone. There are millions of people out there suffering from chronic disease and mental illness. So we talked about how our ancestors and how studies of Amish communities and indigenous cultures show virtually zero incidence of depression and very little disease. We didn't even start getting cavities until after the agricultural revolution. So I know it's hard to believe with all the science and the video games and rockets to the moon and jets that go faster than the speed of sound. I mean, we have all this stuff. We've got a lot of stuff. We've conquered a lot of things, but I think one of the most fundamental parts about living is finding peace. And a lot of us, including me, especially in this Americanized culture of consumerism and capitalism, it's all sort of about what we can gain, what we can acquire, or what we can achieve. But that doesn't usually lend itself towards any kind of peaceful resolutions and sustainable well-being. So the more stuff you buy, the more things you acquire, that doesn't take away stress. There's always going to be something to stress about. As soon as you conquer that stress, you're going to have more stress. There's married people stress, there's single people stress, there's young people stress, old people stress. There's lots of stress, there's thousands. And if you don't get your mind right just to be able to change your perspectives, then you're just going to continually be depressed and stressed. And I can't stress that enough. Just joking. But yeah, it's important to realize that we're sort of spinning this proverbial wheel, like hamster wheel, and we need to slow down and start to do what it takes to find peace, and that sort of spiritual peace, or through meditation and yoga, and those practices can really help. We need to slow down and get out of the wheel, stop spinning our gears, and focus on what life is about. And what life is about, what we evolved to be, is a species that eats a certain diet, a species that gets exercise and sunlight and social interaction, and all the things that have sort of been eroded away from us by, like I said, our synthetic culture. We have a culture, we've synthesized our culture, and we've detached ourselves from reality and nature. We're sort of stuck into this Netflix generation, these video games, and I'm not sitting here saying that I'm perfect, because I'm actually the person that I'm describing, and I'm trying to break those shackles. I've been trying to break those shackles. It's like the allegory of the cave almost. We think that we're living in this reality and that, this is normal. Chronic headaches are normal, and stress is normal, anxiety is normal. Everyone has chronic pain. Dementia is part of aging. Cancer is a normal thing. It happens to a lot of people. No, not at all. None of these things are, I guess you could say they're normal because we've normalized them, but they're absolutely not natural. These are things that we've created in our society. And who knows the ramifications of the technology we use. You could eat a Paleolithic diet, but you're still surrounded by Bluetooth and other forms of technology that probably we don't even know what it does to us. I mean, when Fitbits came out, the Bluetooth that was going through the wrist was causing rashes, I think, in a lot of people. I could be wrong about that, but there was something, maybe it was just the band that was causing the rash. But anyway, there's been studies on cell phones and how the radiation can cause brain cancer, and microwaves, and all the chemicals in our food and our fabrics and our cars and paints. Although, I mean, half of children's snacks are laden with petroleum products that are known to cause cancer. That's a fact. Teddy Grahams and M&Ms. I mean, it's sickening. Literally sickening that we're poisoning ourselves. I mean, at what point did a group of people get together in an M&M meeting or a Teddy Graham meeting and say, well, you know what? I think that if we add this petroleum-based dye, it'll turn them this color and it'll give them a different taste. That's what we're going for. Let's do that. Well, there's some preliminary evidence that these dyes can cause cancer. Oh, but that's okay because it's not proven. I mean, wow. We need to get a hold of this. You need to watch what you're eating, read the ingredients. I mean, if you have anxiety disorder and you're eating Chinese food and Mexican food, they use stuff like Maggi sauce, which is just almost pure MSG, monosodium glutamate, which is a substance that was banned in the United States into our food supply by the FDA because it was known to cause cancer. And it also raises glutamate levels in the brain, which naturally causes anxiety and all kinds of physical symptoms. So, if you have any of these disorders, it would behoove you to study and take some time to assess what you're eating, what you're putting in your body. You may not think that it has a big impact, but it is. It's the foundation of health. You're never really going to find sustainable health and well-being if you don't eat the proper diet. So I suggest looking at the Paleo Solution, the Whole30 diet, really starting to try to eliminate as many grains, especially gluten and dairy products. Try to get away from all the chemical additives and try to eat whole foods. My grandmother's always asking me because she raised me on Little Debbie's and sugar and McDonald's and Pizza Hut and Hamburger Helper. So her house is filled with nothing but these snacks. I mean, thousands of Little Debbie cakes. It's crazy because I was that ignorant years ago. It took me a long time and a lot of suffering to finally see that when I started cleaning up my diet, a lot of my problems were going away. And it's easy to fall back into the wrong diet once you start to feel better. But you gotta keep pushing at it. It's not easy when you got people around you eating all this stuff and the stores are filled and stacked with all these chemical foods. But she always asks me, Travis, well, what do you eat? I don't understand what you eat. And it's funny because I'm like, well, Graham, I eat real food. She's like, what's real food? And I'm like, fruits, vegetables, meat, things that are high in omega-3s, nuts. Those are all natural foods. So anyway, for what it's worth, I just wanted to get that out there and sort of try to get a conversation going about the country, the nation, even the world as a whole, and where we're moving to. Just because we have all these advances and luxuries doesn't mean we're getting any better. I mean, look, we have antidepressants, right? Well, why has depression gone up by like 5 times over the past 20 years? But yet we have antidepressants. The amount of people on antidepressants has increased by like 20-fold, but depression still keeps increasing at an exponential rate. You don't have to be a mathematician or statistician, if that's a thing, to look at the graphs, to look at statistics and see, wow, this trend of exponential growth within depression and antidepressants and pharmaceutical medications. Why aren't we better? If they were cures, we'd all be better by now. But so you really got to kind of rewind the tape, go back in time, and look at what has happened culturally. When did we start to see disease and degenerative disease and chronic illness and cancers and mental illness and anxiety and depression? All this stuff can be tracked through anthropology studies and shown to be becoming evident after the agricultural revolution, after the introduction of grains, but more so in the last 20-30 years after our seeds have been compromised by Monsanto and we're eating chemicals, we're eating pesticides, we're putting it in our bodies, we're putting it in our children's bodies. We got to do something. I'm not saying you can just change everything today, and it's hard to live in this world with all that information and change, but do what you can. Small steps, turn into huge steps, like an avalanche. It started with me with just a simple running, and then that turned into quitting smoking, and that turned into looking into some of this stuff and learning the truth. And now, finally, after many years of suffering, I'm on the right road, and I'm finding relief. I can do things I never thought I could do physically. Again, I'm doing things mentally. My memory's coming back. I have good days. And all this is through the things that I'm learning and the disciplines that I've acquired through a lot of suffering. So learn from me. Go check out the Paleo Solution. Start changing your foundation. Give your body what it needs to heal. Heal your deficiencies. Get out there and start living like a human is supposed to live, and you're going to get better. You are going to get better. So anyway, just wanted to post that, and I hope some people gain some insights from my tape, and leave me a message or subscribe if you like the video. Okay, thanks.